Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all keeping really well. Sorry it's been a while since I've done an upload, but I'm back again, and if you'd like to see how I did this gorgeous set of pink sparkly nails, then just keep watching. So before beginning my service, I need to soak off my daughter's previous set of nails. These are the types of containers that I like to use for doing the soaking off. As you can see, you unclip the top part, which then allows you to fill the bottom part with hot water, which actually helps speed up the process a little bit. You don't need to use boiling water, just hot water from the tap will be good enough. Otherwise, you might find it gets a little bit too uncomfortable for your client because it'll just be way too hot. I use pure acetone to soak off my daughter's previous design. I pour this into the containers, about level with the top of the little indentations where the fingers sit. And then I put that aside, which allows it time to get a little bit warmed up prior to the soaking process. I then use a pair of nippers to shorten all of the nails. This is a pretty easy process. Don't go too far down. You don't want to accidentally cut the skin, so give yourself plenty of room. I then use a 120 grit file to remove the product. I generally just remove down to the colour section. You could keep going and remove a bit more product if you wanted to. You're really removing a plastic tip and any builder gel and base gel, but I just prefer to let the acetone do the work for me rather than use my stamina with filing more. It certainly saves my wrist, and it can take a bit longer, but then filing takes time and effort as well. It really just comes down to what you prefer to do, what your method is. After you've been soaking the nails for about 10 minutes, remove them from the containers and then simply lift off any of the product that is coming away from the natural nail. Don't dig or press too hard or you will cause damage to the natural nail. Just keep sort of scraping away. That one was lucky, it came off in one piece, but if you just keep scraping away gently, you will eventually get there. This process can take a while. You might need to put the hands back into the acetone a few times. I generally probably do it about 5 times, just in and out. Probably each time I would soak for about 5-7 minutes and then pull it out, and keep repeating this process until you get down to the natural nail. I'm not going to bore you with this whole process, so I will speed it up and probably edit out some of this until we get down to the last little bit, just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so fast forward a little bit, and as you can see, we're slowly getting there. These have been going in and out of the acetone, like I said, soaking for about 5 to 7 minutes, and each time I'm removing more and more product and gradually thinning it out until we get down to the natural nail. So I've just realised that having a black background and black gloves is putting a lot of brightness onto the footage for some reason, and you can't really see very well what I'm actually doing. So I'm changing the background to white, and I'm going to wear pink gloves, and hopefully you'll be able to see a lot better of what I'm actually doing and how I'm prepping the nails. I now use my clippers to actually trim back the free edge of the nail. I don't want it to be too long, but you need a little bit of a free edge there. If you don't have any, you could still probably use this method of applying nails, but yeah, I prefer to have a smaller amount. Now with this particular client, on most of her nails have got a fairly high hypernicum, and that's that little piece of skin that you can see through the free edge, where it's pink and it meets the white free edge. When you're clipping nails, you need to be really, really careful that you don't accidentally pierce that skin. With a higher hypernicum, it's quite easy to do, so you really need to pay attention to what you're doing and focus on the job at hand. Using my 120 file, I now go in and shape the nails. Because I'm going to be applying a stiletto type tip onto this, I like to angle the corners quite a bit. It just helps with fitting the tips onto the nails, and I just even up the free edge. I then use my cuticle pusher and I gently push back the cuticles, and I'm also removing any of the cuticle from the actual nail plate, which is the white powdery substance that you will see forming on the nail as I'm going back and forth. You need to remove this from the nail plate, as if you leave it on, it will interfere with the way products adhere to the nail plate. So try your best to remove that. Here you can see that I'm using the other end of my tool to get in underneath the fold part. Make sure there's no powder or any debris stuck underneath there. Then I just lightly go over the surface of the nail to roughen it up slightly, which will in turn help product adhere to the nail. Because I'm using a 120 grit, I am being very, very gentle. Probably if you're not very well practiced, I would suggest maybe you use a 180 grit. So now I just go through and do this process to all the nails. I won't put too much of this footage in, it's pretty basics, just shaping and prepping the nail ready for the next step of the application. So you're probably wondering what I'm going to do to put extensions on my daughter's nails, and I'm actually going to be using full length plastic tips. We've been using this method on my daughter since the end of last year, and we're finding it's just a great way of giving her a bit of length and extensions rather than me having to muck around with shaping, etc. They do last her 6 to 8 weeks. By about the 7 to 8 week mark, she's starting to get a bit of lifting. She's never actually broken a nail, they're quite durable, but they will start to lift as time goes on. Now I'm sizing up the tip for each nail. You need to make sure that the clear plastic tip fits completely from side to side on the natural nail. It's better to have it too big than too small. If it's too small, it'll look terrible and it'll probably cause issues of lifting, etc. So if you find that you can't get a size to fit exactly, it's better to go a little bit larger, and then you can always file that part back so that it's fits exactly perfectly, which is what you want it to do. The product that I like to use is by Luminous Colour Gel, and it's the Protract nail tips. Unfortunately, if you are not a professional nail technician or a student in training, you will not be able to purchase from her website. There are various products on the market that are very, very similar, and if I can find links to any, I will put them in the description box below. So check that out and follow the links that I put in there. You now need to go in with acetone and a lint-free wipe and dehydrate each nail, making sure that you get right into the sidewalls or around the cuticle area, just making sure that you remove all debris and dust from the nail plate. This concludes the preparation part of this application. In part 2's video, I will be showing you the application of the tips and also the finished result. So if you'd like to see that video, Please make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be advised when I do upload my next video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.